risk, maximize rewards. Marinate Staking.
All right, guys, just checking the stream, making sure I got the volume and everything's good. I think it's right, but we got to check that. It's good to go. We're cooking. So yeah, listening to that stream, seeing what it was all about, seeing how many people were going in there, all of that. I mean, I'm only 2 hours, 15 minutes away, so they're there for another week. I think I got to get up there. I think I got to go make a stop at the Raposa, get some coffee, make some content, see if I can talk with people, whatever the case is. What are you doing? Doing weird dog stuff over here. Anyway, but no, it'd be cool to go up there. Probably going to bring my skateboard. I was talking to Dean. I was like, I'm going to get a chair, just sit out front there and stream. But no, all jokes aside, I am looking to go up there and actually connect with some people, talk, and see what's going on. They have the work, co-work or something like that. So it would be cool to go up there and just be GMing and, seeing what's going on, talking about what we've been building and what's next. So that's the first thing. Very excited about that. Got to speak about the developer capital markets and kind of explain, that's where about Pump Fund and the good and bad, all of that, the indifference. I think his name is Axel or Avel. Let me just double check on this here. Amel, yeah, not Axel. I was looking at the first two letters. So Amel was talking about Pump, and I have the same thesis with it. Like, I think the great company did an amazing job, probably one of the best on Solana as far as revenue and everything is done. I'm not talking about the good or the integrity or the quality, because they let a lot of things just kind of happen because they knew that it would bring everything else with it. I think that was the case that I saw, but I saw that as a successful business model, and I thought, all right, if this coin's super undervalued, everybody's fading it at like, this bottom here, but they have $2 billion sitting there at the bottom. They got more money in reserves. It was obvious to me to pay attention to that business and see what they could do. Now, I looked closer and I was seeing that there was creators from Web 2 coming over. I was seeing that there was people that aren't even interested or invested rather, or participating in the ecosystem that were there. So I was like, okay, this makes sense to try to figure out something to do here. And a lot of people were thinking, launch a creator coin. And it's like, that's valid. That's very valid, because you can tokenize yourself. You can run that up. You can get yourself some funding. So like with the fees, you don't have to buy or sell the token at all. You can build a community, or, at least use that to support your community, whatever you wanted to do on that end. That's not exactly how I wanted to go about it. I mean, there is some point where that makes sense down the road with things that, you're doing, I'm doing, and everybody else. I'm not going to share too much on that, but I was looking at an opportunity of where would it make the most sense to stream. Since we're already streaming, why wouldn't you put that on Pump? Now, if I was to be streaming this on Pump Fund right now, probably the most boring content you're going to see there. There's a certain niche that will work. I think. I guess you could do whatever you want, but who's going to want to tune in to just talking about this? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's something that the creators would enlighten me on and say, yeah, it is cool to come in here and give updates, talk about current events and the market in general. But for me, I thought, well, if we're already sharing some educational content, and when it came to I was talking about Dean, I'm watching him go on and do these builds, and I'm like, that's a long ass time to be in front of a screen showing it up. And we decided, why don't I come on and just give a little bit more conversation, banter, whatever it was. And that turned into the idea. So basically, I saw a successful business model with Pump Fund, and an opportunity to stream and put content out there. I had a couple different ideas. The developer capital markets was the one that to me felt the most stickiest. It was like, it's not going to be just cool for right now. You can be cool for right now, like the marketing push, which Project One essentially was, to the point of, all right, we've got something here. This does work. We can replicate this success. Let's continue building and moving forward. Let's find what we can tweak and work the right way. So seeing them talk about it and acknowledge developer capital markets and that light with, over 600 people or so that were tuned in watching, plus the amount of people that will be viewing it, that was bullish. And that gave me more inkling to say, like, hey, maybe I need to get up there and talk a little bit more about developer capital markets, or get into Spaces streams to talk about it here. Again, the coin is DCM. I'm not telling you guys to do anything with it. I'm just talking about what we're doing as far as the project with capital markets, developer capital markets, how ICM kind of led to that. And the point of why Pump Fund, I think, is good. despite all of the crazy shenanigans and stuff that it brings, it gave so much more opportunity for people that typically were held back by funding, by rails, by approvals, by getting in with the right crowd. Because you don't need the cabal to like you for Pump Fund to pop off and you to have success. I think that's where there's a lot of friction with some of the people that are used to like that you needed to do certain things and get into these certain areas to operate. Now it's like, nope, I can do this on myself and I can, leapfrog with good intentions and integrity. And, sure, people are going to take their shots at you. But again, if you lead with integrity and you use the tools that are there that are not going away, I think you can do very, very good things with it. And I think that's what DCM, Developer Capital Markets, and what me, Dean, and Ems are going to be doing going forward. So that was very bullish. Now, the other thing I asked was, what about Super Teams USA? Shout out to Solomon. Shout out to the Gecko family. Like you guys coming up. I like seeing geckos on the timeline here. But no, I was talking about Super Team USA. There's not a Super Team USA. I don't know why, but they're talking about their super team all over. I'm like, man, there ain't fucking one here. Like, there's not one on the East Coast. There's not one in the USA. I don't know anything of that nature. And they're like, well, maybe we sparked this idea, and everybody's eyes lit up talking about Cammy and who was Amel. They both like the idea that, hey, maybe this is the origin story right here live on stream. So I'm going to go back and cut that and make that content and pull it up, because if that is the spark, if that's all it took for us to launch Super Team USA, and maybe we do different like East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, I don't know what it's going to be, but like maybe you can do tri-state or state by state. I don't know how it's going to break down. I don't know the logistics with it. Maybe it creates another derivative of that kind of incubating, accelerating program, which DCM essentially is. So I'm pretty bullish on all of that. Like it's cool to get that recognition in there. It tells me, what I believe in myself is real. Sometimes you question it, and then to get it reiterated. And I know it's only small things, but if you're listening to the stream, you see what I'm talking about. But without further ado, going to get into some other things I did this morning. Took a little bit of a different approach because I do want to get some goals achieved, and what I'm doing isn't working. So I'm trying to figure out better and different ways to approach them. And that's mainly the growth, the consistent, growing within X and using that and getting the monetization for certain things. I don't give a fuck. I want to get that done. It's a goal I've had. I know the Gecko Growth Group is one of the things they're going to be an advantage for, but I also think just continuously revisiting what's working, what's not working, and taking a closer look, having accountability. I guess that's the biggest thing for it. So this morning, I went to a coffee shop near the little town that I live. It's called Newark. It's the university, and I saw this there. I was parked up. I was getting ready to go to the GOAT, and it said buy and hodl or hold. And I was talking to Reese on the phone, and we were talking about Solana DeFi, his book. So if you guys don't have that, you might as well check it out. Let me pull it up on Amazon so you can take a peek, because I do need to get myself a copy of this. And we are cooking with some cool things behind the scenes, which I think you guys might like. But Solana DeFi is near and dear to my heart, obviously. Working with Marinade Finance for the time I was there, it's like, I got to see the institutional to the retail to the how do the validators work, like, what is so important about the epochs, how you get the rewards, like just everything that you don't really see from the timeline, you got to see underneath the hood, I guess is the best way to say it. But Solana DeFi and the strategies that they provide are, I think that's the golden egg. I think that's the real gem of crypto. And well, not everybody uses that. They like the gambles. They like to try and knock it out of the park. And the thing is, if you put your money into not stables, but if you put it into what is it? You put it into staking, even if the price goes down, you still are getting rewards. So like, you're not losing. It's just the value has gone down, I guess is the best way to kind of like look at that. I'm just trying to find his book on Amazon right now, because there's a couple different ones. What the hell? Crypto investing for beginners. I can't find his book, but all right, never mind that. But anyway, let's go back to this picture here. So I was talking to this guy, and I asked him, I said, what should I hold? And I was like, for the record, I'm into, regular traditional finance and decentralized finance with his crypto, so on and so forth. And he was like, okay, cool, awesome. So I asked him a little bit about it. And he said, whatever you got right now, hold on to it. And Q1 should be good. The reason being is that there's going to be adjustments with taxes. So you're going to see people getting more payments in the US weekly than because there's going to be less withholdings. That hasn't been adjusted or aligned yet. And he was explaining that to me. Like as soon as I saw that, had this conversation, he thought I was a little bit serious about this. And it's like, I might not be your perfect fit. I might not be the standard MO that you guys like, but I can connect with people and I can cross those borders and those boundaries that typically, people might not be able to tap into. And just to see the reaction from this guy, his name's Nick. He owns a financial advisory company. And it's something like if you have a net worth of like 1 million or something like that, is like that's the minimum to get in there. So he probably saw me. He was like, who the fuck is this guy? What is he talking about? Just to have this conversation go back and forth, and Reese to listen to it. He was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And it's like, this is what I want to do. This is the way that not, necessarily being an influencer running around trying to make content, but going to actually talk to real people and get to the point where, can I meet with you sometime, have a coffee? Let me buy you a coffee and let me explain to you, since you're an investor, you're in traditional finance, why would it make sense for you to come over here and start taking a look at the entry level on retail and how you can help other people moving forward, especially in the local area. So that's the shit that I like to do, man. Like that got me super bullish. So my plan was to go back to the GOAT coffee shop and just work there, do the morning GMs, respond, go through my list, really pay attention to them, because I'm not going to lie, I have not given it even 80%. I've probably given it 50 on my best day, 60 on, things are feeling good, but I haven't given it like the hard effort that I should have. So and doing stuff like this, running into that, having a nice coffee shop, everything going good. I started making some content because it was like remind me of Raposa with like the beans. They're doing all the real shit there. Like it's a roastery, not like just a Starbucks kind of thing where you got the machines or whatever. Not saying I don't like Starbucks. I got no problem with that. I got no qualms there, but it made me think of Raposa, and it just put me closer into that. But if you guys haven't seen this yet, I'm going to do a little repost so you'll see it on the timeline pop up. We got a space today at 4 p.m. Talk a little bit more about unlocking DeFi. That's the name of it, not Solana DeFi. Unlocking DeFi with me, and talking about Solana Made Simple. Probably tap into a little bit more of this conversation, what was being said. That's what's leading me to my next point, because I've been thinking about it. I want to go up there. I do want to tap in and meet some people up there. And now it's like, you got to go. Like, you got to drive up there and make this happen. So tune in tonight or later today, whatever it is for you guys, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I reposted that so you guys can put your reminders on there. Let me see if I can find the book real quick. Unlocking. In the meantime, we got our marketers from SMS. These guys are all going to be we got them in Airbnb, and we got them all shipped and their plane tickets and everything set up so they can go out to the summit, which is awesome. And I'm very fucking proud of that one. Like that's the coolest thing I think I've done in this space so far is getting people to be able to give them a monthly wage, help provide, the transportation and, some of the housing. Like we all put it, not just me, this is between the team, but it was like, this is what we wanted to do. And we got to that point. And I know we're a small company, but there's a lot of bigger companies out there. They take so much from these guys, and like, man, little things like that go a long way. And being able to do that, being able to have the resources in that position, man, that's what it's all about. I've always said to people, if you support me and you come here and you work really hard, fucking, if I can help you eat, if I can help you get to where you want to go. I mean, there's countless times that I know that I've done things like that. And it just felt like more real today. It felt like Solana Made Simple was really becoming that entity that I wanted to become, and a real respectable kind of company in this space. And the next legs going forward with marketing, with any of the content, the SMS shop. I didn't tell you guys much about this. And we are back. I don't know what happened right there, but the SMS shop is set up and we got that going. Let's share this tab. I think this is the book right here, Unlocking DeFi. Is this it? No. I think that might be it. I got to find his link. Is this it? The Kindle? No. We need Reese to make some more ads or something like that for his book, because I can't find it on here. But anyway, you guys get the hint. There's some cool shit being done. People are, taking it upon themselves to create things and put them out there. And I don't know, just amazing things going on. All in all, I'm pretty bullish on the space right now. Like just outside of price action buying, trading, it's just there's another level that we're ticking on, and it's the building. I think it's shipping and making things happen. Um, not talking as much and being more about it. I think with personally with me picking up some new clients and moving in some other directions is going to free up and kind of let me be a little bit more creative and a little bit more on the timeline. It's something that I've realized I want to do more, not necessarily manage socials for the most part. Like that's part of the game, but like, what do you like doing? What's your bread and butter? What are your strengths, weaknesses? That's what you should really be building on and emphasizing. When you take away from them and do something somebody else wants, and you're wearing that mask facade, sure, you can turn into that. If that's what keeps you going at night. But there's other people, there's other things, there's certain things you just can't get around, and it'll take away from what you bring to the table. So if let's say you did all of these things to get to this level, and then you got here, and then you stop doing all those things, you won't remain there. You will start to drop off very quickly because it's not you. It's not the real, authentic person that you're bringing to the table. It's a person trying to fit in a uniform that might not be your size. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how you got to think about it, and that's okay. Fucking put a new one on. Simple as that. But I don't know. That's pretty much all I had as far as updates. We can take a look at charts. I haven't looked at anything at all. I'm not gonna lie. I've just been kind of tapped into other areas and just building on that. So gonna edit that content later today with the coffee shop. I got some shorts that I'm gonna drop later, and then I think 4 o'clock will be coming around and we'll get that down. But the main thing is, man, like if whatever you're doing is not working, readjust, reevaluate, don't pivot, don't change, just readjust the strategy. Strategies are just that they can be adjusted. Don't change the goal. The end goal needs to remain the same. Keep your vision board right up in front of you, like I got mine up here, and just remind yourself daily, like it is what it is, man. You can figure this out, and it's not the end of the world if it takes a little bit longer than others. But Bitcoin, let's see what we got cooking. 115K. Looks like it's trending up. Looks like it wants to move up. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's share the screen and go over a little TA with you guys. All right. So if you guys haven't watched one of my streams with me covering TA or whatever you want to call it, I'm just drawing lines on charts, having fun, and scribbling around. No, in all seriousness, I use MACD and RSI to look at the movement. I kind of use the 4 hour or further out just to give you a real perspective of what's going on. Like if you take a look at the day, if you're really invested in this for the long term, this is probably one of the better charts, I guess, to look at as far as day charts and whatever for Bitcoin, because you should just be holding for a long time. These smaller moves aren't what you want. This is likely to, at some point break through all of these. So when I look at this just from outside, like just a perspective right here, let me zoom in a little bit. See if this makes it any bigger for you guys. All right, so we filled the gap, came back down, cup handle, shot up here. We made that move. What this move is, if you guys aren't familiar with cup and handle, if you take this and you find the depth of this top across the top there, you measure that, you find your low point on the handle, you try to time that, and you just place this bad boy right. Oh no, don't fuck that up. Don't do what I just did. I mean, I guess I don't need this because it's gone, but it's a good example. So you basically find your low point and you put the bottom of this little measuring stick there, and then the top one should be where your next point should be. So if you're trading this and you know, like, all right, I traded this, I got this bottom, I sold here, I still got a little bit, I'm going to buy more back here because this is a perfect cup and handle. It looks like it wants to change, and then you have this trend reversal right there. It starts to uptrend. It starts to show you that, hey, this is a bullish signal. Boom. You knew that this was going up to that based off of the depth here. It's not every single time. It's not a rule, but it likely happens time and time again. You can kind of look at it here. If you pull this back down, like, let's see. So I'm going to pull this over. Reset chart. All right, perfect. So I wanted to show you. So this little one right here, this is the depth of here. You see the top right across here. and we tried to mark this as our handle right here and think that it was going to come back up there because it filled that top. That's at the low point, and we didn't quite make it. That was supposed to take us to 130. We made it to 125. Still not bad because we formed a double top. We did find some support here based off of the tops here from support and resistance. Your historical references are always going to be good indicators of where the price action is going to settle, fall, drop, whatever you're doing. If you're day trading this stuff, paying attention to RSI, and like going back and forth from day to hour, even closer, like depending on your leverage, super important. But as we all saw, leverage is really going to screw you if you're not being disciplined. That's the biggest thing. If you don't have discipline and you can't like if you're the kind of person that can't walk away once you start winning, you're gonna fucking lose all the time, especially with leverage, because you're gonna be greedy and you'll be like, all right, I got this, and then it's gonna be a flash crash. You're out. You didn't put a stop or a stop loss on. You didn't take profits. You didn't like Jupiter lets you take percentages. You could take 80%, let the rest ride, and then liquidate that one. But you can get fully diluted too. So play it right. I mean, I don't know. You just got to look for it yourself. But where we're at right now, we hit this double bottom down here. We started moving our way up here. And again, this is that flash crash situation. Like, all right, this came down. You thought you were going to be able to work it through. Whatever. Shit happens. Not the end of the world. Unless you make it the end of the world. Don't do that ever. Right here, we have some kind of like a range if you look at it. Let me... Come on. Oh, you're not going to work with me, sweet. Well, when this decides to work, we'll take a look. All right. Sounds like we are not going to get or it looks like we're not going to get this fucking screen to load again. Well, on this screen, you guys can see we are trending. It looks pretty good. It looks like we're going to make our way up. We're halfway through the sell-off. I guess more than halfway at this point. And it's filled a little bit of a cup on the short term, the last week or so. Got a W formation. Next target's going to be about 120 to 125. And you'd be cooking from there. You're at 115,127 right here. Just likelihood is this is going to be climbing back up to reach this and try to break through. And I would say you're aiming for this target right here, this top. That's going to be around like 140, 130. What do we say? And I've been sick as a dog lately, guys. So if my voice sounds crazy, that's exactly why. All right, come on, man. I gotta figure out why this screen isn't working. I probably have too many tabs open, which is typically always the reason. So if this doesn't fix itself, I'm about to just close this damn stream down. All right, it doesn't look like we're getting any love over here. So let me see if I can close this up here. All right, yeah. But anyway, sorry about that with the TA. Things look good. We've recovered from the recent sell-off down to $104,000. We're at 115 holding it. I mean, if you look back on the historical levels right here, it's been ranging in this since July, since we broke up past that. I mean, even touching on certain points back, even in June. So this isn't any new areas. I'm looking at the chart right now. There's 1, 2, 3 points where we've bounced from here and retested. So I would expect that we're going to do something similar like that effect. Solana, Solana's doing Solana. I think that they're going to have a nice little recovery or a pump, rather, and take us to the next level. Hold on. Are we back? I think we're back, guys. Hold on. Let's see. I probably just broke it again. Nope. All right, good. So here. Let's go back to this one, just for the time. All right, so what I was saying is here, you got bang, bang. I like the breakout, touch, in the same area, touched again, W, gap, handle, trending with previous trends. If we can jump up on top here and ride that up here or just make it, break up to the top, great. Let's just bounce up here on 118 or higher and start staircasing back up. That's just the way it's going to be. The fact that we've been holding this level for so long, above 110 or above 100,000 rather, is absolutely impressive. And we should just be happy, like we basically look like we've made a floor right here at 100K. And it's retesting at 107 to 104, whatever. So keep your eye on this chart. It's going to be a good one. Let's take a look at Solana real quick, and then we'll get out of here because I don't feel good, and I think we got through enough. Very excited about today's stream. All right, and today's spaces with Reese. Tap in. He said he's got some questions about Marinade Finance, so we'll be diving into that. The more staking information, and yeah, it'll be fun. So 199, we did break over the 200 recently. Nothing too crazy. It is on a red day. It does look like a sell-off a little bit, or selling a little bit there, and that's just on the hour charts. RSI is down at 40, and we got MACD looking kind of flat. We are trending up overall since this sell-off period. Triple bottom, basically uptrend, higher lows, lower high, or higher lows, higher highs all the way through here. This is a little choppiness, but we're just finding resistance right here. And if you look back, you can see previous resistance and support. We're just dealing with that. I mean, again, same thing. Once we bounce across the 2010 or 209 to 210 area, we should be able to get back in the 220s pretty easily. It might go down again towards the end of this year. It's the end of the year, but we've seen, when I looked at Bitcoin and everything last year, it didn't do that. It didn't have that dramatic sell-off that people like to say. But we might see a pullback of some, I don't know, maybe this was the pullback and we slowly chop or get to that point. But it's hard to say right now, just with the way things are at. I'm going to talk to a couple other people and see what their TA looks like. Maybe we'll get some other people on the GM chat, maybe tomorrow or the next day, covering some of this, and we'll move forward. But what the guy I was talking to at the coffee shop, what he basically said was, hold on to everything you got and wait till Q1 to start seeing some real movement in the market. So I'm not a financial advisor. He definitely was a financial advisor. I'm going to talk with him again and dive into that a little bit further, just because I do enjoy, finance conversations, and talking with one of the homies from Stone Ape Crew and mutual, collections and communities. He literally suggested you should take your SIE exam and see what happens and go from there, and let me know when you do, and if I needed any help, he would be willing to help me. So meeting this guy, having a good conversation, having some feedback from that, having some interest generally in it, we'll see what happens. Who knows? It's worth taking. I think he said it's like less than $100 to take the exam and see where you place. But with that being said, guys, I'm SMS. This is GM Chat presented by SMS Live. I'll catch up with you guys later today at 4 p.m. with Reese on unlocking DeFi. We're going to be tapping into Solana DeFi, some strategies, some questions, and I don't know, whatever else he wants to ask, we'll get into it. If you guys want to come through, you got some questions, you want to tap into the conversation, make sure you show up and you show out, because we're bringing the vibes of value. I appreciate all your support all the time. On your way out, repost this, like it, get some more eyes on it. I